What's going on, guys? It's your boy AT Money, and we're back again with another video. If you enjoy, then like and subscribe. This is my NFL draft breakdown. Now let's get right into it. Given that the 2021 draft class is extremely quarterback heavy, and as many as 5 QBs go in the first round, or not even the first 10 picks to be honest, then we have to start off at quarterback. And the first quarterback we will discuss is the surefire number 1 pick, Trevor Lawrence. We've been predicting this since a junior in high school, man. Trevor Lawrence is the perfect modern quarterback. 6'5" and 5'8", 213 pounds at listing, and while he didn't do any non-throwing drills due to his upcoming surgery on his left shoulder, hence why he's kind of cut a little weight, his normal weight is 225 if you don't know, his 52 throw workout impressed scouts and confirmed what we already know and what we saw at Clemson. He can make every throw on the field, and while he doesn't have jaw-dropping athleticism, he can get outside the pocket and runs pretty well for his size. Next up is Zach Wilson out of BYU. Pretty much everything we just said about Lawrence applies to Zach Wilson. In my eyes, he's the smaller and slightly slower brother. 6'3", 210 pounds. And while they have similar styles, T-Law does it better. And against temper competition at that. However, Wilson still goes second overall. He's going to the Jets, baby. Next on the list is a QB with the highest upside, and his name literally screams boom or bust. Yep, we're talking about Trey Lance. Yes, he is 6'4", 227 pounds. His athletic capabilities are through the roof. Yes, the guy can throw 70 yards from his knees. Yes, he brings raw talent, but he's not polished. Not even close. He has some accuracy issues, and his decision-making can be questionable, especially when he has to get off his first read. However, his upside is tremendous, and you can't teach potential and you can't teach athleticism. At one point, Ohio State's Justin Fields was QB2 behind Lawrence. However, a combination of Wilson's rise and a little bit of his fall kind of contributes to where he is now. He's competing with Lance to be the third QB taken. Justin Fields is 6'2.5", 227 pounds. He ran a 4.44 40 on his pro day and seems to have decent athleticism. He has a similar skill set to Lawrence and Wilson. However, he has decision-making flaws when he can't find his first read, and on top of that, he takes risky throws and holds on for the ball for a little too long. However, he is more polished than Lance and should be in between the 3rd to 5th QB taken comfortably in the top half of the draft. The last prospect is Alabama QB Mac Jones. Jones is easily one of the most polished prospects. He reads defenses like Harry Potter books, frequently getting to his 2nd to 5th reads. He makes smart plays and does what he needs to, but he lacks the creativity, and X factor that other prospects have. He has the weakest arms of the top 5 QBs. He's the least athletic. Problematic traits in today's NFL. If this was the 1980s, he would be the best QB in the draft, behind Lawrence and Wilson. However, this is 2021, and having a dad bod and running a 4.8 40 is no longer acceptable. He projects to be a solid QB, but that's all. Honorable mentions go to Kellen Mond and Davis Wills, but they are day 2 prospects that only work in extremely niche situations. Now, we gotta go to running backs and tight ends. Alabama's Najee Harris and Clemson's Travis Etienne are the only running backs we're talking about in this draft. Harris is 6'2", 229 pounds, and extremely athletic, man. He's relatively patient and can handle a high amount of touches. Etienne has the same elusive running style as Harris. However, he's only 5'10", 215, which isn't ideal at all. Now to tight ends. Now, there is one clear best. He's a top 10 prospect. I'd call him the best weapon in the class, regardless of position. Kyle Pitts from Florida. Man, 6'5.5", 240 pounds. Are you serious? You're telling me you jump a 34-inch vertical and a 4.4 40 at that weight and height? That's ridiculous. His hands are insane. He's up there with Gronk as a top 2 tight end prospect of all time. Pratt Firemouth out of Penn State deserves an honorable mention as a second-round prospect, but Pitts is just a whole nother animal, man. Now for the wide receivers. We're going to talk primarily about the great debate that NFL GMs are engaged in. Who's the best receiver in this year's NFL? Jamar Chase from LSU or Alabama's Devonta Smith? Let's start with Jamar Chase. 6 foot, 201 pounds, 4.34 40. Impressive 41-inch vertical, 11-inch broad jump. His athletic capabilities are off the charts. He won the Biletnikoff Award in 2019 as the country's best receiver and became a national champion that same year while going undefeated. Meanwhile, Devonta Smith is 6 foot, but only 166 pounds, which is concerning. As a receiver, you take hits, and at that weight, how much can you really take? He's pretty fast and he's agile, but the athleticism isn't jaw-dropping, and you wouldn't say his hands are impressive. His route running is skeptical at best, and, to be put it mildly, sloppy at worst. You don't have athletic measurements from him, which only makes my decision easier. Jamar Chase is a better receiver, and it's not even close. In my eyes, its Alabama teammate Jalen Waddle is a better, more versatile version of Smith, and had it not been his first ankle injury, would have won the Heisman, would have won the Biletnikoff, and would have gone ahead of Smith. And even with his injury, somehow analysts still have him ahead of Smith. An honorable mention goes for Rashad Bateman from Minnesota. Now let's get to the offensive line. Oregon's Penny Sewell will be the first O-lineman taken regardless of position. The 6'6", 225-pound tackle has a strong anchor and fluid movement for his size, which should make him dominant on the blind side. Not much needs to be said, as this guy's game film doesn't lie, and shows you how dominant this kid really is. Rashawn Slater from Northwestern, Dylan Reduns from North Dakota State, and Christian Darrisaw from Virginia Tech have impressive builds and resumes, but it's nothing compared to Sewell. That's all I'm going to say. If you're in need of more of a hybrid who can play both guard and tackle, then Elijah Vera Tucker out of USC is your guy. 6'4", 300 pounds. He's probably the best pass blocker entering the NFL. He should fit in as an undersized tackle or a sturdy left guard on whatever team takes him. If centers are more his style, look for Landon Dickerson. He was the best center in college football. However, big red flag, 2 ACL tears on his IR. So, buyer beware. Quentin Menderes from Wisconsin Whitaker deserves an honorable mention at the interior of the offensive line for showing the Senior Bowl, but nothing more to the fact he faced mediocre competition at a small school. Now we got to go to defense. Let's start DB. Patrick Surtain is the quintessential cornerback prospect. He's 6'2", 203 pounds, long-armed, and a disciplined player. However, he lacks top-end speed, which kind of relegates him to the short side of the field. South Carolina's J.C. Horn is the best pure cover corner coming out of college. Speed, physicality, and size, man. Especially length. He's very disruptive. However, he lacks discipline, especially when he's not playing man, displayed by the alarming amount of penalties. He also isn't what you'd call the best at mirroring, and can be guilty of gambling on routes. Adding his tackling issues, and you have the rest of your development of prospect with raw talent, yet a high learning curve due to his lack of polish. Meanwhile, Virginia Tech corner Caleb Farley has the perfect blend of it all. Physical attributes, man coverage, ball skills. However, one problem. You guessed it, injuries, non-contact ACL tear 2017, back spasms in 2019. This guy simply can't stay healthy, and that's kind of concerning for a guy of his talent. As for safeties, TCU's Trevon Moehrig is the best out there. He can place a single high or in a pair. Elite ball skills. He creates turnovers. His tackling can be reckless, and he lacks eye discipline, making him a target for double moves deep down the field. But he has really good man coverage skills, and he's the top safety prospect in this year's draft, bar none. Micah Parsons is the best around if you're talking linebackers. His athleticism is jaw-dropping, consistent tackler, instinctual player who makes plays on that football, man. Those instincts really help him in that department. While he's a good blitzer, he lacks the ability to make flat-footed reads and play reactively. There may or may not be a character flaw with Parsons given his involvement in the 2017 hazing incident. Mind you, y'all, it's 2017 though, so don't take it too serious. USC's Jeremiah Owusu Koramoah, sorry I'm trying to pronounce the name, should project to be an absurdly versatile defender. The guy can play as edge, slot corner, third safety, or as a normal linebacker. That versatility is unheard of. Zaven Collins from Tulsa also deserves an honorable mention as a jack-of-all-trades linebacker. Now finally, the moment you've all been waiting for. The defensive line, interior. Last position of the day. Starting out on the edge, Kaidi Pay out of Michigan is a powerful defensive end with lots of athleticism and a high upside. His transition from speed to power is jaw-dropping, but his game lacks finesse and is in need of a lot of development. Jason Owe from Penn State is a good pass rusher, but it seems to lack an end product, which, if you look at the stat sheet, his sack numbers are a bit appalling for a defensive end. Yes, he wins his individual battles, but he needs to actually finish what he starts. Miami's Jalen Phillips is a great defensive end, but his injury record may drive some teams away, as he has a history of concussions. His teammate Gregory Rizzo gets lots of sacks, but can be useless when not getting after the quarterback. An honorable mention goes to Georgia's Azeez Ojulari, who has a complete package despite being undersized. If defensive tackles are more your game, then Alabama's Christian Barmore might be the guy for you. A combination of raw power and active hands makes him a menace in the trenches. He can play in many different schemes and has a strong swim move that takes his opposite number just completely out of the game. The problem is that's his only move. In order for him to hit his ceiling, you gotta expand the repertoire when it comes to pass rushing moves, or else you become a little too predictable for your opposing defensive coordinators. An honorable mention goes to Levi Onwuzurike out of Washington. He has good speed, quickness, and hand usage, but he is undersized and lacks strength. But that's all today. If you enjoyed, like and subscribe. If you have video topics, drop them in the comments. That's all from me, and peace. What's